For many years, Arhaba envisioned that he could reclaim the lost kingdom of his father, Ugarit. While he was on exile in the land of the Hittites, he acquired much wealth, so that when he arrived in Canaan, he could aid its kings in marching north against the Amorites and Arameans. Thanks to his aid, the Phoenicians were able to cut their territories all the way to Arwad. And in 1264 BC, there he was, on the doorsteps to his rightful kingdom, but unable to raise a force sufficient to beat it. But he would use this time to gather many alliances around the region, thanks to his marriage to a princess of Gebar. His time would come. Despite the attempts to stop the conflict, Ben Deshena resumed his attack on Megiddo, which sour relations between the Amorites and Phoenicians. As for the north, large Amorite and Aramean armies were gathering close to the kingdoms of Samora and Harwad. But due to both kingdoms being controlled by the brothers Amurapi and Ibirano, they were closely allied and would support each other. By the beginning of 1263, the massive Aramean army sieged Arwad, but with the city stocked with supplies and Samura harassing their rear lines, the army was unsure to continue the siege. They continued on, but there was no attempt to assault its walls, hoping to see the city surrender due to famine. On the borders of Gebar and Sidon, Amorite armies were gathering. This was no mistake. They were ready to give war to the Phoenicians. They started their attack in 1262 by sieging Samura, hoping to retake the rich settlement. Arhaba, seeing that the loss of Samura would compromise his attack on Ugarit, gathered a small force and left Gebar with his father-in-law and brother-in-law to relieve the siege, while Ibirano left Arwad as well to repel the Amorites. The Amorites went to defend themselves on the mountains, as it was custom for them at this point, while Arhaba waited for the other armies to link up. Then they began to ascend the mountainside. Although numerically superior, the Amorite forces were made of peasant conscripts, and with almost no chariots, they fell victim to the Phoenician charge that made men lose the eagerness to fight, fleeing the battlefield back to their homes. After the battle, Abimilko in Tirosh received the news that Megiddo had fallen to the Amorites. This led them to declare war against the Amorites and to secretly begin diplomatic exchanges with the Egyptians on the south, hoping for an ally against the Amorite coalition. He sent his son-in-law, Adadanon, along with his youngest son, Abibahal, to wage war against the lands in the south, where they were attacked near the city of Azov. Their attackers launched themselves valiantly against the Phoenician host, holding well against the stronger opponents. But the constant volleys from the slingers and chariots made them eventually retreat back to the city. By the end of 1260 BC, Al-Haba gathered the forces of Gebar, along with his matrimonial relatives, in order to reclaim Ugarit. Although massively outnumbered, he was confident in the higher quality and experience of the Phoenician troops. While on Tyros, Avimilko joined the forces that he sent to war in order to properly siege Megiddo, so to relieve it from Amorite control, and secretly hoping to establish a vassal Phoenician kingdom there. As the weeks passed, Al-Khabar received a message from his scouts that a massive Aramean army was coming from the east to attack him. So he decided to hide in the nearby mountains to deflect their gaze. Iram, the king of Gebar, counseled Al-Khabar to leave for his kingdom. But he, seeing the Aramean army laying near encamped, convinced the Gebar forces to make a surprise attack on the enemy, starting the battle that would be known as the Great Battle of Barga. This large Aramean army was with the intention to link up with the king of Ugarit, so to make a march south to subjugate the Phoenician League. But now they were caught on the Barga mountains without proper leadership. They, however, were not like the Amorites. They were more hardy and better trained overall. But with the constant barrage of javelins and arrows being thrown at them, they had no choice but to climb the mountains to remove Al-Khabar from his position. They peppered constantly the Arameans until one of their main commanders fell. Then they prepared their chariots, and along with the infantry made a charge down the mountains, where the momentum alone broke the Aramean lines and sent them back in a frantic retreat. A force that was outnumbered more than 5-1 was able to win, leaving the name of Al-Khabar known throughout the known world. But despite such a victory, he had suffered many casualties, and because of his small number, he was not able to pursue the routing army, allowing them to go into Ugarit to recover. Without any gains, Al-Khabar went back to Phoenician territory to wait for another opportunity. This shook the Aramean resolve to march south, due to their holdings in the east being compromised. So an uneasy ceasefire had been established. So much had been sacrificed for the conquest of Ugarit, and although victorious, Al-Khabar was unable to achieve his goal. However, this would not be the end of his ambition. Next chapter, we shall see the Phoenician League make its resolve on the north, and if it's able to contend with the powers in the south. In this other realm.